Hey everyone, Izzy and MJ from Endless RVing. So today we have something a little different. MJ is going to explain what we're doing.
This is going to be really, really cool and unlike a lot of things you may have seen. So as RVers and campers and glampers, we know what it's like going to campgrounds and doing our thing, right? But a lot of times what we don't think about is what is the person and the people that are running this campground, what do they have to deal with? What crap are they always having to figure out and deal with difficult people and you name it. So today we have a really, really special treat for you. We have Alan Warren, who's the RV Wingman for the RV Show USA. If you haven't seen that, you have to check it out. He is the owner
of Big Chief Campground in Central Texas. He says it's about an hour from Austin or so.
Yes. So he's going to talk about that. Let's bring Alan on.
Right, so
welcome.
Awesome.
So happy to have you here.
MJ, what you said about the things going on in a campground, I think it's sort of similar to, like, Izzy, you're a cop. Mm-hmm. Cops have to have a high level of situational awareness, and that's what happens in campgrounds, is that the campground owners, the employees, have to be aware of all kinds of different things going on at the same time, probably like a principal in a schoolyard, or, with a, hey, get off the jungle gym, hey, go over there. And there's a lot of moving parts when the campers only see their own little universe and don't realize how they are affecting other people. That can be a bad thing. And with so many people getting into camping nowadays and RVing, that's good. But as I say, they got to bring their good manners with them to the campground if everybody wants to have a good experience.
Now, about how big is your campground? Like, how many sites are there?
We've got 72 sites and 10 cabins, which is it's a medium-sized campground. We're about an hour away from Austin. It's great because we have lots of weekend traffic, very, very busy. But we get a couple of days during the week where it's a break. So we don't have many monthlies. Most of them are families that come through the area, and we enjoy it most of the time.
So how long have you been a campground owner?
This is going on our 8th year, and we still enjoy it, most of it. I will tell you that camping has changed. Campers have changed, and some of that is a good thing, and some of it is not a good thing, at least in my opinion. The things that we experience as campground owners here in Central Texas are not unique to us. They happen all over the country. The good campers certainly outweigh the bad campers, but it doesn't take too many grumpy, obnoxious, self-centered people to ruin it for everybody else. So I'm kind of on a mission, if you will, more so than just a campground owner, but trying to encourage people that we can all up our game and we can all, as I say, be a better camper.
Now, I think what you're saying, we've kind of all experienced. We've all been to those campgrounds, and there's certain campgrounds that are definitely more rowdy than other ones. And so we have our places that where we go, we're going to kind of expect that people are going to be screaming all the time, versus some other places where we go where we know is going to be quiet. So I want you to touch a little bit about, you said campers have changed. Like, so how have they changed?
It's hard for me to illustrate it, to describe it, but I started camping when I was a little boy, and I loved the experience of nature, being with family, just simple things. And when I bought the campground, my wife and I bought the campground, there were fifth wheels, and there were big slide outs, and there were big Class A diesel pushers, but there was an attitude that was different from what I'm seeing today. And as I said, it's great that the campgrounds are busy. Business is unbelievable. But with so many new people coming into camping, getting into RVing, they don't know how to behave. They just don't know. I don't think that they're intentionally trying to be jerks or obnoxious. They just don't realize how their voices carry. Family next door to you doesn't want to hear the dirty jokes. They're not aware. It's a situational awareness that I think that hopefully our videos, your videos, are making people say, you know what, maybe we can up our game a little bit. We can be a little bit more respectful of the campground, of the rules. And speaking of rules, I know this is you guys' video, but I just got to tell you, I am a rules guy, but I don't need rules because I think I have common sense.
Wow,
people go to campgrounds. They go to campgrounds. They go, there's all these rules. We don't want those rules. The reason we have them is because somebody's breaking them.
Right.
We have a beautiful swimming pool here at our campground, and it's not very big, but it's just beautiful. My wife is in the office, and she calls me up on the cell phone. She says, "You're not going to believe this one." So what happened now? She says, "There's some people in the swimming pool with a kayak."
That's great.
And so I went down there, and they said, "Well, there's no rule that says you can't put a kayak in them."
Well, now there will be.
Other side.
That's actually pretty funny. So one of our videos, we talked about just manners, boondocking, and we used a reference that So common sense nowadays, it's like cryptocurrency, right? It's a limited commodity. Sometimes we see these crazy signs at RV campgrounds, and really for every sign you see anywhere, right? Like if you go to Grand Canyon and there's somewhere that says don't walk, this far, they had to put that there because somebody walked that far and fell off the side, right? So it's crazy some of the things that you witness.
So before we get into, the bad stuff that you've witnessed, tell us what you love about being a campground owner.
I love the opportunity to be an enabler, to provide a facility and an environment that brings people together, that allows them to make great memories. And I can sit back on the sidelines and say, I helped do that. My team help bring this family closer together and help make memories. And that's the most enjoyable part of this business for me.
Now, I have a question. Have you seen, as far as, the size, two-part question, the size of the RVs, are they getting bigger? And has, the demand from the customer increased? Are they expecting more amenities?
I don't know about necessarily the size of the RVs. I know that a number of gadgets on RVs has certainly increased exponentially. In terms of demands from people, I don't know if it's really demands or expectation. Again, those expectations, they're realistic and unrealistic expectations. Campgrounds, it's not Disney World. This is not the happiest place on earth. We hope it can be, but we've got regular people. It's difficult to find good work campers. It's difficult to find people that are people that that don't want to say, do this, do that. We're not running a prison camp in these campgrounds. We're wanting to have a good experience. And so trying to manage people, they're not really asking for a whole lot, but their expectation level, I think, is sometimes a little bit unrealistic.
Gotcha. But before we continue, this video is sponsored by Liquid Spring. Now, if you're looking for the very best suspension upgrade for your Class A, B, C, or Super C motorhome, Liquid Spring is the best. Especially for our viewers and subscribers, you can get up to $750 off a new Liquid Spring suspension kit simply by using the discount code RIDE ENDLESSLY. Now, if you are looking to drive a demo vehicle with Liquid Spring, and we encourage you to do that, you can check them out where they're going to be in the description below. They'll be traveling the country. Also, you can contact Wayne Wells from Liquid Spring. His information will be below. Again, if you're looking for the very best suspension upgrade for your motorhome, look no further than Liquid Spring.
We talked about what you like. So let's get into some juicy stuff. I hate using the word hate, but what do you strongly dislike about being a campground owner?
People say, ask me all the time, they say, well, what's the best part of owning a campground? I say, it's the people. I mean, the people are great. Well, what's the worst part? It's them other people. There's too many of those other people. Campgrounds universally have pretty much the same rules, I think. It's be respectful of others. Hopefully, leave it better than you found it. To treat it like it's the sacred place that it is, because campgrounds and the outdoors and nature is a sacred place. It is a limited commodity. And with so many people going into this sacred place, we can destroy it in a heartbeat. One of the worst things for me is we last year, after all these years, decided we're going to put in a bunch of cameras, not necessarily, I guess it's a security system, but just keep an eye on things. Worst thing ever, because every time I look, somebody is doing something, and it's like, oh God, now I got to go talk to this guy. And they should know better. The rules that we have, keep your dog on a leash. Pick up the big dirty. Pick up after your dog.
I like that, the big dirty.
Common sense things that people just don't have. That's the most frustrating part of this for me. And then when you have to get on somebody, you try to be nice. I know Izzy, they say when you're a police officer, you got to start out here, always go up here. And I always start out nice. But some people are so defiant. They think that, by God, I paid my $50 and I can do anything I want to.
Right.
It's not the case. And when I have to raise it up to here and I don't want to and kick somebody out, then they'll take to social media and I'm the bad guy. Being nice. So people just say nothing, hoping the bad behavior changes, and it doesn't change.
So we signed up for an RV resort next year. We won't mention where it is, but it was like a PDF of rules we had to sign off on before they would even accept you. It's like a really nice, supposed to be, we haven't been there, a really nice resort, but you signed it, you're like, this is crazy, like so many rules. But all these rules because people have violated them,
but it's going to keep the place really nice. We've never been to one of these types of places before, but we're pretty excited. What do you wish that RVers and campers knew about what you have to deal with? If you could say, guys, look, this is driving me crazy or whatever, yes, about the manners. Is there anything else, though, that you can think of that you wish people would know? about what you have to do.
I'm going to tell you something, MJ, that it sounds so ugly. It sounds so negative. People don't want to hear that. They don't care what I think. They care about themselves. Everybody listens to the same radio station, WIIFM. What's in it for me?
We care about you.
It sounds so terrible. I did meet some people that were in our campground that just left today. Oh my God, the most wonderful family. And this is why I'm in this business.
Mm-hmm.
But those people are getting fewer and fewer. And they do get it. They happen to be school teachers. One of them's a principal.
Yeah.
One's a middle school teacher. And they get it. And they are helpful in all the kinds of things that campers used to be, most of them. But we don't see as much of that now. And when I say that we want people to just respect the campground rules. Don't just throw it out. Well, somebody else going to pick it up.
Right.
I try to articulate. Campground owners try and articulate. Please, pull your share. I mean, do what you're supposed to do and be responsible, be respectful. Okay. Mm-hmm. They don't do it.
I'm glad you brought up the point with the cigarette butts, because that sets me off. So when I used to be in patrol, I don't do that anymore. That was a guaranteed ticket. If you were such a slob and you just flicked your cigarette out the window, like a
you still hate
like
it.
a four-legged animal, right? Like somebody's going to pick that up after you. Like, why are you special that you can just flick it out the window?
And something else, Izzy. This is the way I see it. Yeah, we have rules, and yes, they're rigid, but it's like when somebody's going 1 mile, 2 miles over the speed limit, I gotcha. But if somebody's a jerk, being the disrespectful jerk, I can enforce the rules. I don't want to enforce them. I mean, I will, but I want them to go, oh, okay, I was speeding a little bit. Okay, I need to pick that up. I really will keep my dog on a leash. I won't let my kids climb where they're not supposed to climb. And they follow through. But when they're defiant and ugly and in your face and think that by God, they paid their money and they're going to do what they want to, or they're going to take to social media and destroy you, okay, let's go down that road.
Right. Have you had to throw out a lot of people over the years for not following rules?
No. The short answer is no. We have thrown out less than a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
However, the good news, and I just did a video on this about putting people on notice, putting the slob campers on notice, is that there's so many people wanting to come to our campground that if we've got somebody that's a bad camper, a slob, disrespectful, bunch of drunks, we're not going to have them back. And we don't need them because years ago when the economy weren't as many people RVing, we need that money. Well, now we can replace those jerks with new ones. They can't be worse than them. I mean, maybe. So what I'm saying is the key word is when people call up, they go, we want to book a reservation. I'm saying, here's the buzzword. If you hear these words, you got to go, uh-oh, it's not a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That means you've been bad and you ain't coming back.
Yeah, good.
So the answer to that is yes. I just had to do 10 of them a couple of weeks ago. 10 of them.
Wow.
It's not that I'm proud of it. It's just, you know what? I don't need that.
You have a business to run.
I would imagine after a certain amount of time of being in the business, your campground or whatever campground is going to get the reputation of this is a campground, it's clean, there's rules, everybody's respectful, or this is the campground where it's just a free-for-all. You know what I mean? Have you found that, is your reputation of your campground becoming that, like, if you go here, you have to act like civilized?
When it comes to picking up the dog poop, the big dirty, yes. I'm like, people literally come in, they'll see me on the golf cart, and they'll stop their truck, and they'll pull out their plastic bags. We're going to pick it up. We don't want to be on YouTube.
Well, that's the thing, and that's what I was going to say before, is talking about like horrible campers. But we're going to link a video above that Alan put out, this was a few weeks ago, about one of his campers and the big dirty. That was funny. Would you say that was one of the worst, or if you could think of the worst camper you've ever experienced? Would that be it?
There's not a the worst, and I'd love to give you some juicy story, but the truth is, when I step in, it's gotten to a point where you have to step in, or you just have to accept somebody else and their bad behavior, and I don't do that. When you have to explain things to the people that can't understand them, you don't do that. Y'all got to go. It's not good. As I said, we're not unique. Most campgrounds are very, very busy. Business is great. If you look at only the bottom line, but the struggles come in the people management. I just wish more human beings would be thoughtful of others, try to look through the eyes of the other person and they might just mellow out just a tad.
And we talk about this too all the time on YouTube. I mean, we were on your show talking about it. It's gotten so bad every day.
Yeah.
This is sense of entitlement where you can just, I'm just going to make you or attempt to make you feel like crap and say whatever I want and not care about how you feel. I don't know when that really started happening and got so bad.
I read a story recently about social media, the success of social media. Whether you like Mark Zuckerberg or you hate him, the success of social media is fueled by hate.
Mm-hmm.
Hateful, ugly. They call them in-groups and out-groups. And in-groups are the people just like us. And out-groups are those other people. And people respond more when we criticize the out-group. And social media has provided that platform. It has made us, I think, uglier as human beings. It has made us, less what God made us to be. We just turn into these animals. Aristotle, the old philosopher, he had a saying that said, "Give me the child till he is 7, and I will give you the man." And I believe that today. I believe that many of the problems that we see at campgrounds in our society is that the kids, and we're guilty. I think all of us are kind of guilty of this. Is that those young moments, those trips to the campground when they're young, can be significant later on in life. If we don't take care of them when they're young, it's awful hard to change them when they're older.
Yeah, I will agree with you. I mean, that's a common thing in law enforcement. You see, especially as you get older in your career, you see the criminal in the making. You see it. You're going to their house because their parents are fighting, or the dad's beating up, or there's a drug problem, and you just see that kid grow, and they start getting into little problems, and then by the time they're 18 and 20, they're you know the house. I've seen that, and unfortunately, it's the truth, right?
But when you say something about it in today's cancel culture, when you say something about it, you become the enemy for saying the obvious. And so, I think that we can all get along. I think that campgrounds have got more pressure on them than they have had ever before. It's probably going to get nothing but more so. The need for us to be better campers, be more respectful of the campground rules and our next door neighbor has never been greater. But at the same time, I remain optimistic because I think this is the last place people and families can come to make those special memories. You can't do it on a cruise ship. It's not the same at Disney World as it is in a fine campground with people that care.
So, if somebody wants to head out to Big Chief, how do they get in touch with you?
They go to our website or our Facebook page. Our website is bigchiefrvresort.com or just on Facebook. Pretty visible out there. I got to tell you real quick, I'm doing the videos, the Be a Better Camper videos, not for marketing, but to try to encourage people to be a better camper.
Yeah. And also be sure, everybody, to check out the RV Show USA.
Of course. RV Wingman.
Yep. Every Wednesday night and on the radio as well. But definitely head to their YouTube channel also.
So in the comments below, let us know what everybody thinks about this video. Do you want to see more videos like this? There are a lot of new campers out there. Like Alan said, you may just not know. So you don't want to be that person that thought it was a good idea to throw the kayak in the pool. Let us know in the comments below. Have you experienced anything like this? And for myself, MJ, we thank Mr. Alan Warren for coming in. And we'll see you guys on the road.